Time for a little Tuesday mail call. I've been getting into other things besides stompers lately, and really been wanting one of these ever since I've been a kid. I think back in the 80's, whoever had the coolest radio won, you know, kind of thing. And looks like it's packed pretty good. I thought I would do a unboxing video, even though it's not stomper related. I know a lot of you guys are my age and into the 80s stuff. So, get rid of some of that packaging there. A lot of these, that's handy. I recently helped my wife box a vintage sewing machine. It was an old Singer, and we turned it upside down, or the box upside down, and we packed the sewing machine really well and put bubble wrap around it, put it in bags and all that. And I actually took 2 cans of spray-in foam and spray-in foamed the entire bottom, and when that expanded out, it created a nice little cocoon for it. So that's something I may start using a little more on heavy items, because you don't want them moving around. So let me get this thing set up here. All right, here we go. This is from the 80's. It's a cool Boombox. Needs a little cleaning. I'm going to do some of that today. Get it cleaned up and all of that. But I thought I would. What's going on here? Let's see. It's just that board that I've got on the top of this thing is whooped up. Got the cord. It's in the battery compartment. So looks pretty clean inside. Still gonna give it a good wiping down. I usually get stuff in, I wipe it down with alcohol, and it's pretty safe on most surfaces. So let's see if we can get any kind of reception out here. Looks like one antenna is a hair, it's just bent hair right there, like somebody kinked it. That's pretty common, especially with as tight as it is, getting them out of there. It's got dual antennas, which is kind of cool feature. So let's see if we can get it rocking out here. So we've got power. Let's go to FM. Turn it down. Don't want to get a copyright strike on YouTube. Let's try one more thing here. Upside down. Pretty happy. This thing just looks badass. I can't help but stare at it. The colors. I actually bought it off of eBay, and when I seen it on there, I was like, man, it doesn't get much more colorful than that. It's got all this red writing and the blue. It just looks cool. Hear a little tape hum there. I've been getting into 80s cassettes lately and picking up my old collection from back in the day, and just kind of a restocking. And it's actually been a surprise because for some reason I had it in my head that cassette sounded horrible. I think toward the end I had very cheap cassette players. And my parents weren't super rich, kind of a single mother deal going on. So she provided plenty and we had everything, but it wasn't always the most expensive. So I never really got to experience good quality sounding cassette players, I guess. And I picked up a Sony Walkman on eBay because I think it was a GPX, I think it was called, from Walmart. And I used the shit out of that. I listened to it all the time. When I mowed the yard, walking across town, whatever I was doing, I had that damn thing on, and always some Metallica or something in it. And anyway, I didn't know any better, so I thought it was great. And then I picked up the Sony recently, as I mentioned, and when I put my cassette in there and I put some earbuds, that's another big difference. I put earbuds in instead of the over-the-ear style like we used to do. And I was just blown away at how good it sounded. And it's amazing how much sound you lose out loud. Like on this, you're going to have background sounds. You hear a dog barking in the distance. All that sort of thing affects the sound, distracts your ears. You put earbuds down in your ears, turn on a Walkman, you hear nothing except for that music, and you get stuff that you normally wouldn't have noticed. You also get the stereo where, for example, like if you're listening to Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle or something, there's 2 guitar players and each guitar might be in 2 different speakers. So you get to hear each guitar individually in your ears. I highly recommend it. If you remember that stuff and you loved it as a kid, I highly recommend it. But I will warn you, if you're messing with old junk, you're going to have to fix things. For example, this particular radio, he said the play doesn't push down on the upper deck. So I will have to pull this apart later and try to figure out what's going on. But there's something not right. The rewind and the fast forward work, so I know it's not the belt. So I'm going to fool with that later, but I got lots of cleaning to do. But I guess expect some cool photos. I'm probably going to set some stompers up in front of it, just get that 80s mojo going on. So hope you enjoyed the video, and if you are into vintage radios, vintage Walkman, vintage cassettes, anything like that, feel free to comment and let us know what you're into. I enjoy hearing what people do for enjoyment on the side. So anyway, stomp her on.